Welcome, book lovers, to Creatives on the Couch, presented by ASJ Publishing. I'm your host, Christine Madafri, and today I'm speaking with Robyn Duse, actress. Hi, Robyn. Welcome to the couch.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Robyn, what always interests me about creative people is, when did the spark get lit?
Oh, a long time ago now. I was 5 years old. I was a part of the Young Talent team. So Johnny Young Talent team that used to be on TV.
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
At 5.
At 5.
You
so
auditioned or you were part?
I was part of their class. So they used to offer classes. And I was doing singing and dancing, and then we did a concert, and I was in the concert with Danny Minogue back in the day, and
Wow.
Johnny Young, and on stage, and just loved it.
Yeah. You felt it was your place.
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
stage. You felt at home.
Yeah, absolutely.
No nerves, even at 5.
Look, I think at 5 I was just so young that I was just thrilled to be there, and just, I was with Danny Minogue, and it
was too exciting.
It was too exciting. Now I get nerves. So since then it was theatre, and then passion for TV, and I really think it's once it's in your blood, it's really hard to
go and get a real job.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's very, very hard to, go and do a 9-to-5 mundane job, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The creativeness is there.
And even though it's often longer hours, of course there's periods of unemployment, but then there's also periods of really long, crazy hours. So it's kind of like it's more of a lifestyle that's less predictable, and I suppose in a way less humdrum than a routine job.
Absolutely. Look, it's definitely more fulfilling. There has been moments where I have, I think every creative person that you would speak to would say, why are we doing this? And just throw it all in for a 9-to-5 job. But then there's something that just...
Security.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be fulfilled. And I have done that. I have gone back to 9-to-5 jobs in the past, and, just for that security, and haven't been happy or haven't been fulfilled. And then I've started my own acting school out of something that I love. And thought, well, if I'm going to create some sort of stability, I'll do it through what I love doing and my passion. So
an acting school.
So
the acting school is called
the Actors Studio.
Wow, and that's been running since.
Well, we were a part of a franchise previously, and just this year recently have changed to the Actors Studio and got out of that franchise.
Right.
So if you count all that, we would be operating, say, 4.5, 5 years. But almost a year on our own, which is, really exciting.
And you've been successful.
Yeah, we've just recently started doing interstate workshops. Fantastic. So I've taken some actors and the Neighbours director to Sydney and the Gold Coast. So we're on the Gold Coast last weekend. And then we're taking another international actor in November to Sydney and Gold Coast, as well as Melbourne. And he's been on Sons of Anarchy, Criminal Minds.
Oh, who is it?
Andy McPhee.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So his son Cody McPhee was recently in the new X-Men.
Fantastic.
That was out in the cinemas.
Wow.
So I feel fortunate to have created all this.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I didn't really know where it was going, or whether it was going to be successful, and then just having these amazing people
to work with
around me, and then
fantastic.
I can also call friends, because I'm very close with Andy, and to be able to just pick up the phone whenever I need to, for whatever reason, and have these mentors, I would say, as my friends, and collaborating has just been amazing.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah.
So terrific. When I'm not acting, I'm doing that.
You're teaching.
Yes.
Do you have a favourite sort of methodology? Like, I know that you've studied Meisner, you've studied improvisation techniques, you've obviously done your basis in a sort of method teaching. So do you have a favourite school or type of work?
I would say I use kind of a bit of everything.
Yeah.
I tend to not use one method per se. I tend to feel like that I use a little bit of everything and kind of make it my own.
Yeah.
The biggest thing that I have learnt is to do your research, to not take what's written for granted, and to really do your research and your character. So for instance, next month I'm doing a feature film where it's I'm playing like a drug addict, and I've got to dye my hair black, and you know, those sorts of things. So I'm going to go into a drug place,
rehabilitation
and and really do my research.
That is some scary research.
Yes, which is I'm looking forward to, actually. Like it's just something that when it's so far away from you as a person, that we get to create different lives and different people. And so I guess it's the exciting part of our job. You know, we get to live other people's lives, but without the full consequences.
The consequences. Yeah, absolutely.
Which is great.
But it also means that you're never living the same day twice. No. Which is what creative people love.
Yes.
The fact that it's, you know, a different day every day. I mean, we are lucky like that.
Yes. Absolutely. So
and so this is a feature film being made in Australia?
It is, and then I'm working on another feature next year, which is in LA. So that will be my first LA feature, actually.
Oh, congratulations.
So it's exciting. Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank
you. have a Los Angeles agent, don't
I've got a manager, and I'm in the process of doing my O1 visa. So in order to get paid work over there, you actually need to have a visa. So I've got an attorney, a manager, and so yeah, it's a busy time for me.
So very soon you'll be able to say to people in Australia, get your people to talk to my people.
Oh, hopefully one day.
So I mean, I've always wanted to say that. You can get your people to talk to my people. Speak to my people.
Having said that, I think I've always said, because it's such a hard journey to get to where you want as an actor.
See, what people don't realise is the person you see on the screen is actually one of 1,000.
Oh, yes.
Or, I mean, I don't know what the odds are, really. I made that up. But, you know, there's
so
1,000
many
that wanted that role, or 100.
Absolutely.
At least 100.
And I always said that even though, you know, if I do make it, or when I make it, I would still want to be humble enough to remember that long journey and how I got there, and to help.
Yes.
You know, I see so many actors that, you know, have made it and then they don't want to help, and I'm just like, well, you were once that person, and you've got to remember. And I've always said that no matter how busy, I would always want, I mean, obviously you can't greet everybody that you speak to, but I would always want to help that next person,
and treat everyone like they're worthwhile,
and be humble. And I guess, like last year I was in LA and I caught up with Joel Edgerton,
right? And
he was the most humble, amazing guy, and I just, things like that, you know.
You don't begrudge people like that their success.
No, their success, and you kind of think, well, you know, but he was amazing, just so great.
Such a lovely person, he deserves it.
And so humble and just giving, like he was trying to literally help, you know, other people.
So it's good. Maybe his success is good karma too.
Absolutely.
Because I do believe in that.
Yeah, definitely.
Or like the Chris Hemsworth ads on, you know, for Fox. They're so funny. He's taking the mickey out of himself. It's just so lovable that he's making fun of himself.
Absolutely.
That's the type of star you'd want to be.
Yeah,
a Chris Hemsworth type, like sending yourself up and remembering that, you know.
And from what I hear, they're really down to earth as well, and really humble guys.
Well, us Aussies, you know.
But they're not always like that, you know. And I would want that. I would want to make sure that stayed true to me.
Yeah.
That if I did make it, then...
Well, you're also a mother.
Yes.
And so you've also got to be a role model for your kids.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to be a role model who lets these kinds... You know, you wouldn't want to let things go to your head, because that's not what you want to model for your children.
And that's not who I am as a person, you know. I generally, even though I'm surrounded by, you know, some international actors who I call my friends, and the director of Neighbours, and I'm doing workshops with him, which has been an amazing journey, but... I'm always so humble about that, and quite gifted. Like, I've a lot of gratitude that, you know, I've got here.
But anyway, we'll take a break now, and we'll be back with you after these messages. Welcome back to Creatives on the Couch, where I'm speaking with actress and acting school entrepreneur Robyn Duse. Robyn, About your acting roles, we know that from Young Talent Time you were a triple threat.
Yes,
you're a singer
I was.
and a dancer.
Yes.
What happened? I mean, you decided you wanted to perform so young, and I understand the attraction to such a young age, at such a young age. But what happened then? Did you go on to do commercials? Did you go into TV?
I went into theatre. I actually started theatre, so I was, 10, 12, probably even younger actually, where I was doing pantomimes, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and The Wizard of Oz.
That's so young.
Yeah, like absolutely loved it.
Did you have time for school, or was school like a sideline?
No, like I did school, but this was more like on a, after school or weekends, and we would do performances. And funnily enough, only recently, I've always had her, the director, in mind, and only recently we've connected through Facebook. And I said to her, all these years, she was what kind of led me to the path. It was the Puff and Billy commercial and then the theatre and the love of that for so many years. And then how she sort of inspired me, and she never knew this up until recently, and I actually had to thank her. And I did a newspaper article, like it was an interview via a newspaper in LA, and I specifically wrote in my article or my interview that I did, I thanked them for the inspiration to continue this journey as an actor.
That's so sweet.
So I would say theatre. I haven't done much theatre because I just don't have the time, unfortunately, for the the schedules and things like that. But yeah, TV commercials, short films, feature films. I'm still waiting for my ongoing role on TV, so that's my next thing that I'm working on.
Yes.
But I go back and forth to LA, so I have quite a few contacts there, and come back and learn as much as I can there and implement that both in my acting and in my school.
See, the fantastic thing about acting is you can always keep learning.
Oh, absolutely.
And you can always keep passing it on, obviously, in your school.
And that's the love of it. I do go there, I learn, and then I implement that in the school and then pass on what I learn we teach children, teens and adults up until 60 years old. So, I get to pass on all that information that I learn.
So that gives you a steady base.
Absolutely. And I love that. I love, to be able to pass on in that information. So it's not just for me.
Yeah.
And then pass on that to the younger generation as well.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
Where
it's
is
great.
the school?
We're actually located in Werribee, so we're probably about 20 minutes outside of the CBD of Melbourne.
Right.
No, but having said that, we are looking at venturing, I'm not sure yet where, but opening another school somewhere.
Fantastic.
Whether that's LA or CBD Melbourne or interstate, I'm kind of not sure where that journey is going to happen, but it's definitely a plan of mine to have, multiple schools.
Expanding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is there a favourite role? Is there a role that so far, obviously, your favourite role is still to come?
Yeah.
Because, we always think that, and, who knows? But have you had an especially wonderful experience?
When I worked on Neighbours, I was a police officer, so I got to dress up in the police gear, and that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that because I always wanted to see what it looked like as a police officer. And
it worked for you.
And it worked. It was great. I love this.
And the authority.
Yeah.
And you got to boss people around.
Absolutely. The authority was great.
That doesn't hurt.
No. But honestly, I don't think my role that I really want to play has come. Unfortunately, they just don't see me in that role. So therefore, I'm starting to create my own work. So I'm wanting to write. I'm wanting to create my own feature, and I've got something that I'm really passionate about.
Fantastic. Well, if you've got a great original idea for a feature, God knows we've had a lot of repeats and serials and remakes, and even of the great films. Well, actually, the greater the film is, I say, the less reason to remake it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
a film was great, why remake it? And if a film was really ordinary, why remake it? I know some remakes are great. I know some of them are, but why? When there's so much original material out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess this is something that's really strong, it's really close to my heart.
Yeah.
That comes from a personal place. That
Well, write what you know. That's the first rule of writing.
Yes.
Write what you know.
That I'm wanting to empower others through this feature film. So I guess because it is such a strong personal experience.
So based on a true story.
Yeah, absolutely.
The names will be changed to protect the innocent.
Yes, definitely.
Remember at the start of that Woody Allen, and then he says so-and-so is played by so-and-so, and so-and-so is played by so-and-so, and he gave everyone away. I forget which Woody Allen film that was, but it was obviously like a lot of Woody Allen stuff.
Yeah, and because I'm not a writer myself, I've been, I've got collaborating with many writers, and they will probably take on most of what I'm wanting.
Yeah.
But
you'll still have that great credit. Story by, original idea. Whatever.
Yeah, and I will probably write the bones of the story and then give that to a script writer or to further develop.
Well, what usually what happens on a lot of feature films, especially in America, is writers sadly are unfortunately often replaced.
Yes.
Because the distributors and the producers come in with other considerations. Oh, this will help us get money, or this will appeal to this age group, or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And the writer will say, no, wait a minute, that doesn't work with the story. And before you can blink,
it's gone.
Sometimes that writer, is replaced. So, so what you find is you might have a few writing credits attached.
And look, I'm completely fine. Yeah, look, I'm completely fine that I, have the bones to it, but then pass it on, because I'm not a screenwriter, and I would rather someone take on the script who is professional, who has that experience, whereas I don't.
Or you could be co-writers.
Or I could be co-writer.
There are so, as I noticed, especially in America, so many feature films have many writers look at them. And even in UK films. It's not so common here, but it's obviously because here there's less money goes into film.
And I think also because, like I said, I started this business with no students. I had no contacts. And to get where I have, with amazing connections, international actors, director of Neighbours, who I'm doing that, I just kind of go, well, if I can do that, and I never thought that I could do that, well then where else can I go?
Yeah, imagination can take you everywhere.
Yeah, and I think, well, nothing's impossible, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
I still have this really successful business.
Yes, so. And I really believe that, if you work hard and you believe in yourself and you associate yourself with the right people, that anything's possible.
Absolutely. And it is the thing about filmmaking in particular, especially in Australia, but I guess in Los Angeles as well, is yes, talent is important, no doubt about that, but connections also. So many top Hollywood actors are now the sons and daughters of previous Hollywood actors and stars. Gwyneth Paltrow, the Gyllenhaals. So many of them are from a sort of pedigree.
Yeah.
So your contacts are really that's part of your profession to make those contacts. Yes. Obviously, you've got that down.
And I mean, not, there's so many more contacts I want to make.
Yeah, of course.
And go back.
You can always use more contacts.
Yes, which is why, I keep going back and forth. But just as that as a foundation, and these actors and mentors and help.
And that's a real skill. People's skills are a real skill, in itself. Yeah. Quite apart from the acting, that's a whole other.
Yeah.
So on that note, we'll take a break. We'll get my people to speak to Robyn's people, and maybe we can come up with a deal. Anyway, we'll be back with you after these messages. Welcome back to Creatives on the Couch, and I'm speaking with Robyn Duse, very experienced actress and also acting teacher, about her ambitions to write or produce her own feature film.
Yes.
So why not? Anyone can get in there and do it. Sylvester Stallone has proven that.
And I love his story. His story is amazing.
It is amazing because they actually offered him a very, very tidy sum to not play the lead. In it. Yeah. And he actually had a young family. It was on everything was on the line, and he said, "No, I'm doing it." Yeah. And he did it.
And it's that determination, and that's what I think. A lot of people have said, oh, you could be unemployed, or why don't you choose something different? And I'm just like, well, I've got this far.
Yeah.
Then I can, with that belief and that determination and working hard,
It can take you anywhere. And it's also an inspiration to your family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. So anyone can really, if they set their mind to it, probably do anything.
Yes, and definitely aspiring, it helps us actors reach for the next, as you said before, it's not a stable job.
No.
Sometimes it's...
but the thing is, writing does work really well with acting because I don't need to tell you about the downtime.
No.
And so there is downtime. And the thing is, writing is the same as acting. What you're doing is inhabiting characters.
Yeah,
but all you're doing is writing down what they say.
Yeah.
But if you've done lots of improv classes and stuff like that, you know how to write. So there's so many ways you can go. Definitely give it a shot.
Yeah, look, it's something that I have been putting it to the... when things are a little bit tough, it's like, how so much in my head, but I haven't got it down to paper.
Look, writers are the worst procrastinators.
Yeah, it's the procrastinating of how am I going to tackle this? I'm not a writer, and it's that bit of self-doubt that I've got.
If you want a little bit of advice from someone, Isabella Allende is a favourite author of mine. She's South American, and she's been enormously successful, and she gave a class in writing to some students at I think it was a New York university, but one of the big universities over there. And she said, now I want you all to go home and write the worst novel you can write. I wanted you to go home and deliberately write the worst novel. And the weight lifted off her students' shoulders because they weren't going to try to write something perfect or brilliant or highly original or anything spectacular. They went home to write the worst novel they could write. Hilariously, one of them wrote a bestseller out of that assignment.
Wow.
One of them wrote a New York Times bestseller.
That's amazing.
And a lot of them were just so surprised that they came to the writing with a kind of joy. So let me give you some advice.
Yeah, definitely.
Just go home, write the worst first scene you have ever seen, and you're on your way. Because what will happen is then your subconscious will commit to it, and overnight your subconscious works on it. You'll wake up in the morning with ideas on how to fix that scene.
Oh, great.
And your first scene you could have written tomorrow.
Yeah.
But write the first scene.
Great, thank you.
Just do it.
Yes.
Really, it's the Nike thing. Just
I know, and I try to apply that with most things in my life, but that is the one that I just keep putting it off.
But just say to yourself, what could be the funniest, most awful introduction to this story that I could write? And it's just going to be so awful, it's going to make me laugh.
I think the problem is because there's so many moments, and part of it is, like I said, personal, that you have only got so many hours to do in a script. You can't put everything of your life, so it's picking those pivotal moments that are going to attract an audience, and it's like, which part of my life do I put to paper? And that's kind of what's circulating and stopping me from taking that next step.
Just start.
Start it.
No, really just start.
Yeah. I've got dot points. That's as far as I've got.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and a
just
title.
Take one. And even if it's not the start of it, even if it's just one scene, and even if it's the worst scene you've ever written, you will feel so good about having put
something down. Yeah, definitely.
You really will.
Because I can envisage it. I can envisage the film and where it's going.
You can write it.
But I can't. It's not that I can't. I would say I'm just putting that off to getting that down on paper.
Well, that's what we writers are experts at.
Yeah.
Writers have the cleanest houses.
Yes.
Because they think, oh, I'll clean that window first.
That's me. I do. I tend to be a bit of a procrastinator, which I'm working on.
Yeah.
But
whereas the thing is with acting, you can't procrastinate.
Yes.
You have to be there at a certain time, and you have to damn well do it.
You've got to do it.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, if we could procrastinate, we'd always say, oh, another take,
another day, or another
better.
time,
I'm not quite right, but yeah.
Yes.
That is the trouble with writing. My suggestion is just
do it.
And do something. If it's not the first scene, do any scene.
Yes.
And things will actually
that's just inspired me. So when I get home tonight after dinner's done
and write something, and it doesn't have to be. Remember, it doesn't have to be good. You're going to rewrite it so many times, or someone else will rewrite it.
Yes, definitely. And I think I'd rather have someone, that's experienced in that take that and have a look at it.
Just get it down.
Yeah.
Get it down. Get it down, and you'll be amazed that your characters will come to life and help you. Yeah. And actually, that's what a lot of other writers on this show have said. How often their characters have taken them to other places once you get your characters down. So
Great. Thank you very much.
And so if you've got yourself, if you're at the heart of this story, you know your characters very well.
Yeah.
You don't really need to go and research it, do you?
No.
So what's the name of this film where we're going to see you as an adult drug addict? I can't imagine it.
I'm not sure if I can release the name.
Oh, right. No worries.
He's sort of he hasn't kind of fully released everything yet.
All the details.
So I better protect that just in case.
Yes, so how long are you going to spend in rehab?
I'm not sure actually.
How method are we going to be here?
Yeah, we're going to go method. So we will be researching in a drug. So I'm going to be going dark, fairly dark hair.
Yeah, sort of the goth tattoos.
Which really scares me, to be honest.
You've never been a brunette?
No, like I have, but it was a very, very long time ago. And I don't like myself as a brunette.
Okay.
But for the sake of acting and my character, to inhabit that truthfulness to the character, I will do what I need to do. Yeah. So I will dye it, and then I'll probably hate it.
Are there other physical changes? Are there any other
look, I'd probably want to lose a little bit more weight as well.
No. Well, I mean, yeah, but I suppose a drug addict,
Yeah. And just, sit myself into, I'm a drug addict who abuses her children.
Oh, no, that is very doubly hard.
So, and I guess because it's removed from me completely.
That is so far removed from you. You probably won't really want, it's probably something you don't want kids to see.
Yeah, look, I like playing dark roles.
Really?
And layered roles that I don't normally get because they don't see me as that type of person.
No, you do look like sunshine.
Yeah, so
which is lovely.
So I'm wanting to give them something more depth to work on. So I'm actually really excited to get my hands onto this and to see, hopefully they see something that they haven't seen in me, for future work, for casting directors.
Well, we look forward to seeing you.
It's exciting.
We can't wait to see Robyn in her next role in a feature film.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Robyn.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
And we've really enjoyed having you on the couch.
I've really enjoyed being here. Thank you.
Thank you from Creatives on the Couch. Talk to you next time. Bye.